Alright boys, welcome back to a brand new Anime Fighting Simulator X video, and in this video we're going to be going over every single power inside of the game and what every single power actually does here, okay? So we have quite a bit to go through, but we're going to be showing everything off, testing every power, and hopefully you get an idea of everything, and just know too how much XP you actually have in your skills depends on how much damage these powers actually do. At least you can get an example of what all of these do. Now to actually unlock all these powers, you do need to complete the main quests of the game. There's a couple of other quests around the map, I believe for the sword to actually get the remaining powers for the sword, but all the other ones you can get through Boom at the very start of the game. Also boys, I'm kind of dumb, but I didn't realize that there is this daily quest thing right here, and this actually gives you a lot of yen, and it gives you a little bit of Shikara, but a lot of yen. So use this to your advantage here and get as much yen as you can from these daily rewards and start upgrading your multipliers, boys. That's a really good way to upgrade. All right, anyways, if you enjoyed the video, drop a like, subscribe. At 900k we'll be giving away some game passes on Anime Fighting Simulator X, but let's go ahead and get into every power in this game. All right, let's go somewhere where we're actually accepted, where people actually want to fight us. I feel like this area is just a little too newbie for me right now, but let's go over here into the new area of the map. I also want to note that this is only all the powers in the game after the update 1 that just came out. As more updates come out, just know there's going to be even more powers, okay? All right, so anyways, let's go ahead and start going through these. So for now, I'm going to go ahead and put Miss Navi away because she doesn't really benefit me much for damage. So I'm going to go ahead and equip Sage Naruto because he actually gives me quite a bit of a damage buff and an increase in health and all that other stuff. So let's go ahead and summon him. So whatever damage I do will reflect a couple different things: my transformation, my champion, and also the fact that these are my current stats in the game, okay? So first off, I'm going to go ahead and just clear my keybinds here because I have a lot of stuff binded. Oh, I got to hold this down for 3 seconds. All right, here we go. And they're all gone. As you can see, it's all cleared off. So first off, let's just go ahead and go through durability. So currently with all the durability powers in the game, you can only use one durability power at a time inside of the game. These are your transformations. So you want to just kind of read through the descriptions of these and see how much damage and health and whatever benefits they give you and pick which one from there. Honestly, the best two in my opinion, which are also the top two you unlock currently in the game, are Hammond and Holification. Besides that, all of these pretty much do the same thing. Like if you use Super Saiyan, it's gonna pretty much do a cool little thing there, and then you're ready to go attack people, okay? And then if you use Hammond, your character's gonna do some kind of special cool move and then not really do much after that. It's just more for show, and then you have buffs activated. So there's fourth gate. So here's Buso or Busso. It's kind of like your hotkey. And then finally, we have Holification, which is the one that I have been using. And this one gives you a 30% damage reduction and a 40% universal damage boost. So this is actually, I think, the best one you could possibly get in the game right now. But all these do something like this one does, but this is just the best one. So we're going to use Holification, which just kind of makes you fart out red and black blood out of your back end, I guess. Okay. What? All right, so once you have a transformation picked, you can actually start experimenting with your powers here. So I've been maining Chakra in the game, so these are going to be the abilities that do the most damage for me. So let's go ahead and start binding these keys. So I'm just going to do my bottom row here. So let's just do B, N, M. I can't do comma, so I guess I'll do L, K, and J. All right, there we go. So Fallen Down is the latest Chakra ability in the game, an extremely powerful super tier spell that annihilates everything around the caster. So you can just get up and close and personal with your enemy, hold down J, and kaboom, you're going to send a laser beam down on them. And that does actually quite a bit of damage, especially if you combo your enemy out and then hit them with the Fallen Down. That's going to do a pretty big hit, okay? Next up, we have Rasengan. So this one says, concentrate a large amount of Chakra into your hand and launch yourself forward, dealing a massive amount of damage to opponents upon impact. So this one, you want to get some distance, but when you see your enemy, we're going to go ahead and hit the button, which is K, and boom, you'll dash towards them, launch them back, and do quite a bit of damage. Now, these guys are higher level, and they do have a lot more health. So if you do use this, it does cool down pretty fast, but I personally do not really use this ability that much because it doesn't really do a lot of damage for the higher up enemies in the game. So next up, we have Chidori, a lethal lightning attack that inflicts deadly damage upon impact. So we're going to go ahead and press B for this one. And here we go. Kaboom. So you kind of dash with this one as well. And another thing you could do when you're learning these powers is you can actually go up in the air like this, hold your ability down, and then strike down at your enemy like that so they don't hit you. Next up, we have the Kamehameha, the classic, where you shoot a beam of concentrated energy out of your fists, and this one does quite a bit of damage, but it does have a little bit of a charge up time, about a second or two. So when you see your enemy, press it and bam, you'll hit them. And if you're a little bit closer than that, you will do more damage. I wasn't that close for that one. Let's try that again. There we go. That's more damage. It kind of like consistently damages them. So pretty cool there. Next up, we have the Spirit Bomb, which says harness the spirit energy around you and unleash an unstoppable ultimate attack. So this one is always fun to use. I always use this one, and it's great for a group of NPCs, or it's just great for PvP because you could do a huge hit on an enemy during PvP. But you can just go up in the air like this, press your Spirit Bomb. Boom, you're gonna do a big, gigantic, juicy hit on them, do lots of damage, and then they're gonna be crying. And the last chakra ability is actually called Zero, but this one, if you press N, you shoot a beam of like a laser out of your hand, and it's just a quick attack. But anyways, if you do combo all these abilities out, these enemies will die pretty quick, as you can see. So just like that, the more you combo, the more damage you're going to do, and then the faster these guys are actually going to die in the end. Now that I'm actually using all my abilities at once, you're seeing how much damage I actually am doing with all my chakra abilities. It kind of looked like it was weak, but no, chakra is not weak, especially when you have all of the abilities unlocked. And just like that, we took out a group of NPCs, boys. All right, let's go ahead and just change up the scenery a little bit, all right? So let's go ahead and unbind all these again. Let's go ahead and put Holification back on because that gives us a damage boost. And now let's go through all of these sword abilities. So let's go ahead and keybind all of these real quick. So I have not really used a lot of the sword abilities because I mainly use chakra, but the one I always do use is Ki Slash or Kai Slash. This one actually does quite a bit of damage when you slash at enemies, and you do about 3 hits towards them when you do the Ki Slash. You unleash a barrage of razor sharp slashes from your sword. So that one's pretty good. Then we have Onigiri, which is pretty much cut through your foes at lightning speed using your blade. So this one actually, you dash through your enemies and you do quite a bit of damage. That one does a little bit more than the Ki Slash, but if I combine the two, you'll see I start doing a lot more damage together. But that one is actually pretty good because you can go through a group of NPCs. Or if you're PvPing, that's a good way to dash towards your enemy and get a big hit off of them. We next have Getsuga, which is release a powerful slash that cuts everything in its path, kind of like the Ki Slash. So I press K. It's almost like the Ki Slash, but you just, instead of shooting, you do it around you. So next we have the Getsuga, which is like a spin attack move. So you want to be close to an NPC or an enemy. It doesn't have a big radius to it, but it does have a pretty fast cooldown. But you do have to get pretty close, hit it, and it does do quite a bit of damage, especially if you combo it out with your other abilities. All right, next is a new one called Revenger. I actually have not used this one yet. Unleash a swift and merciless round of slashes to cut down your enemies. So let's go ahead and try Revenger out. So that one, okay, that it doesn't have a sound effect, but it looks cool, and it seems to do some good damage. Let me get a little bit closer to these guys. All right, hold up. All right, let's see here. Oh yeah, that's like a blender. It's like a meat grinder. You put your enemies in that thing, and they're gonna take some big hits. It's good for adding some damage onto your combos. All right, next up we have the Rising Slash, which is similar to the last Revenger one, but instead of going forward, you go around you. A lot of these sword abilities seem to be like pretty similar to each other, but they just kind of have like different damages and slightly different cooldowns. Next up, we have Flying Slash, which is pretty cool. That animation that you just saw there, you hop up in the sky and you get ready to do a slash on them. And that one actually does quite a bit of damage. So Flying Slash, boom. And next up, we have the Multi-Slash, which is, again, kind of like the Revenger. So, again, a lot of the sword attacks are very similar to each other, but they're just different colors, slightly different sounds, different cooldowns, but they're all pretty much nearly identical, like, animation-wise and all that. All right, now it's time to go through Strength, which is the final set of powers in the game. Now, there's only 4 Strength moves, but these guys pack some pretty big punches here. So, let's go ahead and keybind all these up. So, now we have our Heavy Punch ready, our Rapid Punches, and then we still have our Holification, and then we have Conqueror's Hockey and Serious Punch. Now, I forgot to mention as I'm going through these, you could keybind whatever you want. If you want to mix in some sword abilities with chakra or with some strength abilities, go for it. Your combinations and your abilities, whatever you want to do, however many keys you have left on your keyboard after raging and punching your keyboard, you could put as many or even every single ability in the game on your side. I personally recommend only having a set number, about 5 to 10, that you're actually going to use and learn how to combo with. But you could put all of them there. You might be a little bit more confused at first, but if you do learn it, that's some OP combinations and some deadly stuff you can do. All right, so these NPCs are a little bit easier than the last 2 sets I was fighting, but these guys are still good to at least just show the abilities here. So first off, we have Heavy Punch currently set to B. You hold this down, you do a bam, and these guys actually die really quick. So this is probably not a good example, but the boss is going to spawn in just a second. So let's go ahead and fight the boss and test out the strength abilities on the boss. Actually, that would probably be better. All right, there's Mr. Meaty Man right here. All right, so these abilities, we got the Heavy Punch, we got the Serious Punch, we got Conqueror's Hockey, and then we have Rapid Punches. So anything to do with your fists is pretty much obviously what strength is. So heavy punch, let's punch him right in the butt to start this fight off. Boom. Okay, so that actually did quite a bit of damage for that being a basic move. 4,000 damage with my current strength. So we could do some rapid punches on this man. Let's get up close. The rapid punches honestly don't do that much damage, I feel like. Maybe just because my strength isn't as high and it takes a while to cool down, but it's not as good as the heavy punch. All right, let's try the Conqueror's Hockey on this dude, which is a big laser beam out of your fist, I guess. Okay, that did a little bit, and then the serious punch. Now, there's only 4 abilities here, but comboing, if I just keep spamming these and comboing this man with all my punches, I'm going to take this guy out like nothing, as you can see here. But as you can see, I'm doing quite a bit of damage, and if you have higher strength than me, you could probably honestly do 12k damage per hit, or maybe no, definitely more than that. You could do a lot more than that. It just really depends on how much experience you have in your strength level. With mine not being the best, I'm still doing some pretty good damage, and I still managed to kill Mr. Boss here. And we got a 1-tail shard, which is some good news for us, because that's what we need. We gotta collect those. So yeah, those are all the current powers in the game. There's also actually some speed powers, but pretty much the only 2, or there's 3, but or after you get flash step, I believe flash step actually combos with your dash, and you just dash further. I don't know if there's an actual hotkey for flash step. I think you just start dashing further than you normally do at the start. I could be wrong about that, so let me know in the comments if I am. And then the other thing that you unlock with your speed is you can actually jump up pretty high with Geppo here, and once you get more stamina, you can start pretty much flying with just durability and doing some of this stuff. But yeah, so those are all the current abilities in the game. Currently, I use Holification with Chakra and a little mix of Sword, and I think 1 strength ability, but you can really just mess with this and see what works best for you and have fun with it. Just to see what works and see what makes you play better. So hopefully this helped you if you're starting out, or if you're just curious because you haven't used any of the powers and you're too lazy to switch your hotkeys out. But yeah, if it did, make sure to drop a like, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.